One Button Bosses is a game you can play with your nose. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could also play with your toes, your elbow, this could get pretty weird pretty fast. In fact, you're only 2 button presses away from playing it right now, but more of that later. Because behind these stylish, streamlined visuals lies an incredibly easy to grasp, but hard to perfect loop that might, just might, reveal a higher truth about why we play video games. And yes, that is some claim. I'm Dan for FGS, and this is Discover Something New, a weekly show that helps you discover amazing new games, from inventive indies to off-radar AA's. So how does One Button Bosses work? Well, the clue's in the title. You fight a series of boss battles using only one button. You play as a spaceship that orbits a large enemy. One lap sends you clockwise, another lap anti-clockwise. Your craft shoots automatically, and well, that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at it in action on screen. So I tap once, tap, tap again, tap, 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 tap. You can see the ship suddenly change direction. Except that isn't it. The longer you let your ship spin in orbit, the faster you go, and the faster you go, the more bullets you fire. The more bullets you fire, the quicker you defeat each boss. Your score goes up, you shave fractions off your previous best time to beat the boss, and you get bragging rights over your friends. Simple.
Sounds easy enough.
You see, at its core, this is a game stripped down to its purest essence. It's like an electron or a quark, a single mechanic, teased and bent into new shapes, testing your reflexes, patience, and adaptability. So many games are lavish production epics. You know the type, you see them on the PS Store, you write off 100 hours of your life. No thanks. Do I need to see more gods muse on their daddy issues while completing 60 hours of churn quests? Maybe I do, but just to unlock new button combos and a magic hat? Maybe not.
But she's got a new hat.
But One Button Bosses is almost a science experiment. How lean can you make a gameplay loop until removing this singular mechanic deletes the entire game? It's borderline existential in its premise. So how does all this play out? In the campaign mode, you fight your way past 66 handcrafted bosses, from simple circular orbits where you dodge incoming projectiles, to squares, triangles, octagons, and an increasingly mind-numbing spray rainfall of particles. All the time you're accruing fame, which is the game's form of XP, which can be traded for over 100 permutations of power-ups, allowing you to revisit former bosses and crush your old times and scores. There's even a story of sorts, if that heightens your motivation, because some of us do need to be told why we're doing something, with talk of a galactic games and uncovering the mysteries of the rifts, which is all delivered by a cat? Pikachu's disassembled atomic essence?
Pikachu.
I mean, whatever this thing is. And once you've clocked the story, you can play the Rifts mode, which is a roguelike arena of randomly generated bosses. Now this bit reminds me a little bit of Returnal, which I played a lot of, in terms of its daily challenges you can log into. There's a daily boss. Now everyone gets online to tackle it at the same time. We can prove once and for all who is the global master of pressing one button, which in this fragile unit of infinite possibility is as close to fame as I'll probably ever get. Now, as trite as it sounds, that's why One Button Bosses is so special. I mean, it really is. It's play in the truest, most uncomplicated definition. The game's almost like a mindfulness exercise. Tap, 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 tap. Win, restart, fail, tap, tap. You know, it's also about mastering something uniquely ludicrous and, frankly, lording it over your friends. Wordle, which is by any definition a far more multifaceted game, taps into a similar motivation. It's ultimately about being the best and making people online look at your score and say, how did they do that? One Button Boss Battle was created by a team of 2,000 developers and a budget of 300 million. No, wait, I mean 4 developers who are called Midnight Munchies, who come from all corners of Europe. And their previous games include Presenter Slides, which is the 91% rated Steam game about increasing efficiency in a corporate presentation software. Does that scan correctly? Or Binary Quest, where you control a stick person who walks from left to right, addressing people with strict yes or no answers, which gets daft pretty fast, and again is a far shrewder and cleverer game than that description really does justice to. Best of all, you can play a demo of One Button Bosses right now. Yes, don't take my word for it, just get in there and give it a go. Just scroll down to the About description on this very page, click the demo link, and it'll fire up in your browser via itch.io. I make that 2 clicks, which by this game's standards is pretty complex. One Button Bosses launches later this year on PC, and you can wishlist it today with a single button. You get the idea. So, if you like the look of One Button Bosses, don't forget that June is a time for many, many, many game showcases. From Summer Game Fest to our very own Future Game Show Summer Showcase. So, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on the 90 minutes plus of brand new game announcements and developer deep dives, all hosted by some of the biggest names in the gaming industry. Now, don't forget, we'll be back next week, in fact next Thursday, with another episode of Discover Something New to help you find your new favourite video game that might, just might, be flying under the radar. I'm Dan for FGS, and I'll see you next time.